Hello everyone and welcome back to the Ryan Retro channel. Today is a very exciting day because we have an alpha build of Zemu, the Xbox emulator, working inside Android. This is something we haven't had before, so I'm really excited to test this out and show you how it goes. So first of all, you're going to need to go to this GitHub page, which I will link in the description of this video, and we're going to install Termux. So let's click on this link and download the APK file. Termux is a terminal where we can run scripts inside Android to install Windows environments and various other things. So let's see how this goes. The app is now downloaded, and before I install it, I'm going to touch this button here, which is a copy button, which will copy this script we need for later. Now by touching the three dots and going to Downloads, we can install this Termux APK we just downloaded. So let's install that now. Let's open it, and now we're going to paste in that script we just copied from the GitHub link. So let's just hold our finger down, we'll see the paste menu come up. I'm then just going to tap my finger anywhere to bring up the on-screen keyboard so I can push the Enter key. For this video today, you might also want to connect a keyboard if you have one, because it will make everything a lot easier, and maybe a mouse too for good measure. But I'll try and get through as much of it as I can without that, just so you can follow along with me easily. We also do need to temper our expectations, because if you saw my previous video running Xbox on the Retroid Pocket 5, you know it didn't really run very well, and that was running a far more native way than what we're doing today. Once you get this prompt to allow file access, we're going to need to agree to that and go back. And you might get this error that I had, which says unable to locate package open box. But we're going to ignore that and go back to the GitHub page, and we're going to install Termux X11. So let's tap on this link to download that APK as well. When it's downloaded, once again, we're going to tap on it to install it. We can install it with Package Installer, Install. It will install pretty much immediately. And this is going to run in the background and not really do much. But then when we get the emulator running, it's actually going to open inside this. So let's go back to our regular Termux now. So following the guide on GitHub, if you have your Xbox games in ISO files, you need to convert them to XISO. That's something I already did for my RockNix video. So I already have my games in an XISO format, so I'm going to skip this step. And I'm now going to go to part 4. So the first part here is going to open the Zemu emulator, and the second part is going to launch the game. So once again, we can tap this copy button here, go to the regular Termux, not the X11 one, but the regular one that looks like a traditional command prompt or terminal. We're going to tap to bring up the keyboard. We're going to once again hold our finger down somewhere and choose paste, and then press enter. And in this case, we get a couple of errors, which says the program Termux X11 is not installed. Install it by executing package install Termux X11 nightly after running package install X11 repo. So even though we installed the APK, it's not recognized inside Termux. So let's do what it says, and first of all install package install X11 repo. So let's copy it how it says here, pkg install X11 dash repo, and just check that your spelling and spacing is correct and press enter. It's now going to install that. And now if we scroll back up and check what we need to do next, we need to do package install termux-x11-nightly. So again, let's copy it how it says on the screen, package install termux-x11-nightly. It's now going to tell you it needs 4,000 kilobytes of space. Do you want to continue, yes or no? We're going to say yes, so press Y and enter, and it is now done. So we're now going to try that code again. Number 4, start the game in Zemu emulator. So once again, let's press copy. Let's hold our finger down and choose paste and enter. And now it has worked without any errors. And if we now come back to that Termux X11 app, you can see it's now displaying a black screen with a cursor. So now we just need to launch our game. So we're going to type this Zemu space dash DVD underscore path, and then we're going to copy and paste the path to our game. So I'm going to select that first part and copy it, then come back to the regular Termux here and paste it. You'll see it's then highlighted, and I don't want it to be highlighted, so I'm going to choose the right arrow to move over and make a space. Now we're going to copy and paste where our games are. So you're going to use your file browser to do this. There are lots of different file managers on Android. I actually even have a few. For this video, I'll use File Manager Plus because I like the icons that it has. I'll go to my SD card, come down to ROMs. Let's go down to my Xbox folder. Let's select a game that might run easily, maybe Tetris Worlds. So let's Select that, go to More, and Properties. So depending on what file manager you use, you're going to want to find where you can find the properties of the file. And what you're looking for is the path. So in this case, the path is storage, then a series of numbers, which is the name of my SD card, ROMs, Xbox, Tetris Worlds. So we're simply going to just copy that path. So we're going to highlight it like this and choose copy. Now we're going to come back to our terminal, and after the Zemu DVD path, we're going to paste that path and then press enter. And what you might see, like in this case, is syntax error near unexpected token bracket. And that is because I need to put the path inside those quotation marks. So to bring back what I just posted, I'm going to push the up arrow and it will bring it back. And then I'm going to put the double inverted commas at the end and beginning of the path. So let's go over using the left button. And this is a bit tedious, so we'll make sure not to make this mistake next time. And then here, just before that slash, we're going to once again put the quotation marks, and now we're going to run this again. So let's press enter. After running that command, I can now hear a sound. It sounds like the game's loading. So let's now switch from the regular Termux app over to the Termux X11 app. Usually when you do that, it seems to bring up the keyboard, which is a bit annoying, but just minimize it again. And we are now getting into our Tetris game. I do just want to bring your attention to one thing, which is when I tried to run the game just now, it said it didn't understand what Zemu is. There is no Zemu command. So in order to fix that, if you run into the same issue, I just went back to the GitHub page and I simply run the very first install command again. I copied this little paragraph, pasted it and ran it again. Again, it asked me if I was okay installing some information. I pressed Y for yes. It installed again, and now it's running completely fine with all these commands. So if you do run into any issues when doing things like this, just go back to step 1 and go through the steps one by one again, and just be careful you didn't miss any of them. So as you can see, the game's now running. This is Xbox natively on Android. Now I did hear there are issues with controls and the controller might not actually be working. And that is why I've brought my keyboard and mouse just in case, so we can run through some games and see how they perform. So we're now inside Zemu. We can control the mouse cursor with the screen. I'm going to use my mouse for this just for the sake of simplicity. We can come down to backend, and I heard that Vulkan runs a lot better than OpenGL, but unfortunately on the Retroid Pocket 5, we don't seem to be able to choose Vulkan as a backend. It doesn't seem to be compatible with the chipset we have here and just go straight back to OpenGL. We can adjust the UI scale and make it bigger so we can see things a lot more clearly. That's better. We can adjust the resolution scale, but 1 time is the minimum. So let's keep it there. We can choose a display mode. We can try and stretch it out to make it more widescreen. Let's choose an aspect ratio of 16:9. And we can try and make this full screen. But most of these controls don't seem to have much effect on the environment we're running right now. If we go into the machine settings and we go down to input, we have some control inputs here. And as you can see, the only option we have is keyboard. There is no gamepad control right now, which is a shame. So let's see if our keyboard's working. I'll push some buttons. But unfortunately for me, whenever I push any button on the keyboard, it just brings up the terminal keyboard. I'm not quite sure how to get around this, so that's a bit of a shame. But let's try jumping into this game of Tetris and see how it looks. That doesn't seem very good. So we seem to have some issues right now, so I'm going to quit this and relaunch it. As I said earlier, this is very much an alpha development build. This is brand new. I don't think this was possible even 2 weeks ago. This is really, really cutting edge. So there are going to be problems, and don't expect great performance in any of these games. This is just potential of what the future could be. So for me, this is very exciting. So let's once again go back to the GitHub page, copy that first command and paste it in. We'll bring up the keyboard and push enter. We'll copy that Zemu DVD path command as well, this time with the quotation mark. We'll move to the right, and then we'll find another game in our file manager. Let's try Yu-Gi-Oh! The Dawn of Destiny. I remember this being quite easy to run in my previous test. Let's bring up the properties to see the path. Let's copy the path over. Once again, go to the right. We'll add another quotation mark and we'll push enter. And I'm sure there will be a more streamlined way of doing this in the near future, and there probably is now, but I just want to see what we can get running right here, right now, today. I can now hear the sound, the game is launching. So let's move over to the Termux X11 app, bring down the keyboard, and we can see that Konami logo. Oh, we have action! The sound is quite glitchy, but we have some kind of video playing. I just hope we can set up some controls. So let's set the input to keyboard and see if we can control that through the Retroid Pocket 5. Moving the D-pad does in fact move the D-pad. I'm not sure if we have anything else except the D-pad, but let's just see how it goes. I'm not quite sure yet how to get controls working, but this game is not a game test video. This is more of a news type video to let you see what's coming soon, and I'm really excited for native Xbox support on the Retroid Pocket 5 and other Android devices. This could be huge. But unfortunately right now I'm not sure how to get a gamepad set up. I'm only able to get the D-pad working, but unfortunately no other buttons. By setting the Retroid Pocket 5's controller mode to Xbox, which makes a lot of sense in this case, you are able to control Zemu. You can see this is loading extremely slowly. I don't think we're going to be able to get any kind of performance out of this. I did hear that running Vulkan over OpenGL increases the performance from 10 to 12 times. So I think what we need to do is get Vulkan support for the Retroid Pocket 5 or other 865 chipset devices. If we can do that, I think this is going to be possible and playable. So I'm extremely excited for that. As it is right now in its current state, Zemu is just not playable right now. But this video is not a game test video. This is a news video about what we can expect soon. And I'm extremely excited about this. So I'm not going to make this video any longer because there isn't really any gameplay I can show and I don't want to waste your time. I just think this is incredibly exciting for the future. Once we get a little bit further along with the development of this, this could be huge. So I hope this video was interesting to those of you who want native Xbox support on the Retroid Pocket 5 because it looks like we are seeing light at the end of the tunnel. If you'd like to pick up your own Retroid Pocket 5, please check out my affiliate link in the description of this video. And I'm excited to tell you guys that I have now started channel memberships. I'm not the kind of person who wants to put content behind a paywall, so I'm not going to be putting different videos behind paywalls or anything like that. What I am going to be doing is giving you very cute emotes and channel icons, so I'd love to see some of those appearing in the comment section. And I am going to be putting up polls asking what kind of videos you'd like to see, because I have an insane amount of video ideas to make, and I'd like to hear what you guys would like to see. So channel members will get that exclusive privilege of what videos will be coming up next. So if only one person joins the channel, congratulations, you have exclusive voting rights on what videos are coming up next. I basically wanted to give some kind of privileges to people who do join the program, but I didn't want anyone who doesn't join to lose anything. So I will still be making all the same videos. There won't be any paywalled content, apart from maybe the occasional post here and there just to say hello and check in and have a little chat, and maybe the occasional live stream where we can just chat about the Retroid Pocket 5 and other devices. But all the usual videos will still be coming every single day like usual, because as I said, I don't believe in paywalling content. So if you would like to join, that would be great. It's basically just a way to support me and bring me a little bit closer to achieving my dream of one day doing this content as my full-time job instead of having to teach all the time. So thank you to anyone who does think about joining the program. Of course, it's completely unnecessary. It's just if you'd like to support me. And if you would, I'll be so grateful and thank you so much. But thank you everybody for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and let's get closer and closer to PlayStation 3 and Xbox emulation on the Retroid Pocket 5. I can't wait for those days. Thank you very much, and I'll see you again tomorrow when we're going to try another system that I may have just given away a hint to on the Retroid Pocket 5. Thank you and goodbye.